Hey guys, how's it going? Before we begin, just another quick plug. If you're not in the Discord server already, this is your last week to get in for free to make sure you check it out before we go fully paid next week. Also, we're making big moves. We've opened up a Twitter page if Twitter is your thing. So it is at Solopreneur ONYT. You can see it right there in the bottom left of your screen. Maybe I'll follow Elon Musk right now. Why not? Hey guys, how's it going? Taking a look at the heat map today. Mixture of green and red on the board. You know, this morning was looking like it was going to be a red day, but we rallied pretty well throughout the day when the market was open. I mean, Facebook had a big day, up 3.5%. Apple was pretty much flat. Microsoft, Google, Amazon. But you know, the only ticker I care about right now, and honestly, I don't remember being this nervous about any of my plays in recent memory, but let's take a look at Tesla. So, a little bit of a scare because this morning, when we opened up, or even looking at the ticker pre-market, Tesla was down almost $45, down about 2%. So although it was still above my strikes for my put credit spread, the fact that it got closer to my spread meant that whatever unrealized profits I made yesterday, they were going to get wiped out a little bit because now we're going to be closer to being at the money. So thankfully, not only did we rally green and then we dipped back down, we did slowly rally all day long, and actually we ended up closing the day. Within the last 30 minutes during power hour, we finally went green on Tesla. We ended up closing the day above where we closed yesterday, so actually up a little less than 1%. And then we're trading flat to maybe even going a little bit up after hours right now. For me right now, based on where we closed today, I am just about 50% profitable on my two Tesla spreads. And if you don't remember what they were for my video yesterday, let's take a look at the option chain. So I sold spreads at 1880 and 1875. So that means that I sold a put, and they both expire this Friday. So that means I sold a put at $1,880, so right here. And then to complete the put credit spread, I bought a put at a strike lower, so I chose the one right below it to minimize my max loss. So I bought this one, and as you can see, obviously, like I said in the video before, you can't necessarily trust these numbers on Robinhood because it always accepts or assumes that you want to get in on the mid price. But you can see there's a very wide bid-ask spread. There's a $3 wide spread for the 1880 strike and an even larger spread for the 1875 strike. And even though the spread is wide, the volume and open interest, especially at 1880, is very good. Here, it's a little bit harder. It's about half of what it is at 1880. And that's because, in general, people like kind of the round whole numbers, like 1880, 1890, 1900. The kind of in-between option strikes always have lower volume. So I did have a little bit of trouble getting filled on this spread yesterday. I mean, it did take maybe about 30 minutes or so, I would say. But I would be willing to bet that if, instead of 1880 and 1875, if I chose 1880 and 1870, I probably would have had an easier time getting filled. But like I said, that point is moot right now. It doesn't matter because I've already gotten filled. So now the real question is, how am I going to manage my position? So I'm looking pretty good right now because as long as Tesla trades above 1880, I'm fine. Now, the further it gets away from 1880, meaning the higher the stock price goes up, the even better position I'm in. So this morning, when Tesla kind of dipped and then we rallied back, you know, when we dipped in the morning, I was about, I want to say maybe $75 profitable at the end of the day yesterday. When we opened up in the market, my spreads were only about $30 profitable because we got closer to my strike prices. But now, since we rallied all day long, I'm actually up about $100 or so by end of day. And I'm actually profitable by almost 50% by end of today. So I know I said I was going to kind of try and sell out at 50% profit, but we literally hit that 50% profit at about 3:55 p.m. So right before the market was going to close. So let's see what happens after hours tonight. I did not close out the positions, so I still hold them. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm really waiting for Tesla to kind of break out to the upside because it's kind of been trading flat the past 2 days. If we take a look at the stock graph here, you know, past week, this is yesterday and today, it's kind of been sideways. which is great for Theta Gang, which is kind of what I'm playing. But I want to kind of secure profits early and then cash out, because I don't want to end up having these trades go against me. So I just want to lock in quick profits and then get out of the trade. So I'm really hoping for a breakout. I'm really hoping Tesla goes to 2100 tomorrow or Thursday, because I really don't think I'm going to hold these till expiration on Friday, just because I don't like the risk. It keeps me up at night. But let's see what happens, because if Tesla goes to 2100 tomorrow, then I'm most likely going to be super profitable, probably like 75% profitable by end of day tomorrow if we get to 2100. And then at that point, I'll just cash out, close out my positions, and have a few $100s in gains in hopefully 3 days of trading. So going back to my option trade here, I have an 1880 put that I sold, and then an 1875 put that I bought. So my total credit as of right now, according to calculations by Robinhood, which is basically based on the mid price, is $1.33. So my average credit is actually $1.30, because the first one I sold for $1.55, and the second one I sold a few hours later for $1.05. So if I add those two up, divide by 2, I get $1.30 or $130 if both of my spreads go to max profit on Friday end of day. So you might be looking at this number saying, well, that's not good because you're actually down $3. But again, it's because the bid-ask spreads are so wide and Robinhood is assuming the mid value. You can see the bid-ask spread is between $11 and $14, and Robinhood is setting the mark at $12.50. You can finagle with these numbers and make the mark 12 or 13 or even 14 if you wanted to. Obviously, the more you finagle it, the harder time you will get filled, but if you do get filled, you'll get a better price. So that's why this is not exactly an accurate number. And based on the broker that I use, like I said, I'm actually up about $100, almost 50% profitable by end of day today. So to be honest with you, after 2 full days of trading, I'm just about 50% profitable on my trade. Most people will probably say you should have just cashed out, and I agree with them. But like I said, it didn't hit that number because mostly throughout the day, I was about 30 to 40% profitable at most. It really didn't hit around 50% until like the last 10 minutes of trading. So it was a little bit too late for me to get filled at that point. So let's just see what happens. If I really wanted to, I'll just cash out tomorrow morning. But let's see what happened after hours. Let's see where we are pre-market. Because if I see we rally after hours and rally pre-market, then maybe I'll hold. Because if we're going to have another green day tomorrow, then I'll just secure more profit as time decay happens. But I'll have to wait and see. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my trade so far. Let's take a look at Tesla on Robintrax. It's actually the 8th most popular ticker on Robinhood right now. And you can see, even as the price of Tesla keeps going up, the number of Robinhood users holding Tesla, which is shown by the green line, also keeps going up. So I don't know if a lot of people are FOMOing into Tesla right now, which is not necessarily a good thing because that might mean that Tesla's going to come crashing down at some point. But because Tesla has their upcoming split, and more people will be able to afford selling options on Tesla, and maybe even more people will want to buy shares of Tesla, full shares, I think the price of Tesla is going to keep going up, at least for the short-term future. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Another thing to look at is if we would look at swaggy stocks and look at the max pain on Tesla. The max pain for this Friday is actually at 1950, which is above my 1880, 1875 spread. So that's a good thing for me, because if people want to pin the price around 1950, I'd be okay with that if I decide to roll my spreads out until expiration on Friday. So let's see what happens. I did open up some new plays today, and that was on Space Virgin Galactic, because I currently own 200 shares of Space, and now I want to sell covered calls on them. We had a red day today. We did rally a little bit. We still ended up closing red, which was kind of disappointing. I was hoping for another green day today because I saw that we were green yesterday. Let's just take a look at the 1 week graph. We kind of rallied a little bit green yesterday, so I thought we might go green again today, and I didn't want to leave money on the table by opening covered calls yesterday. But unfortunately, we had a red day today, so I did end up leaving money on the table by not opening covered calls yesterday. So it's okay. I left about, I know the covered calls were going for as high as $15 yesterday. I ended up opening a covered call at the $19 strike price, which is my cost basis, at $8 of premium. So I left about $7 of money on the table per contract by not opening them yesterday. But what are you going to do? Profit is still profit at the end of the day. So I own 200 shares of Space at a cost basis of $19 per share. So I sold 2 covered calls at my cost basis, which was $19, and I sold them for $8 in premium each, which is kind of what they're trading at now. So I'm actually breaking even right now, no profit, no loss. But of course, my plan is to just let these ride to the end of the day Friday, and hopefully I'll get to collect $16 in max profit. I really want my Space shares to get called away because Space has not really been bullish lately. It's kind of been mostly on the downtrend. So at this point, the quicker I can get rid of my shares and not bag hold these, the better for me. So even if I break even at my cost basis, I'm okay with that. I mean, worst case scenario, let's say tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, Space just actually rallies, maybe some really good news comes out and the stock just takes off. I'll just roll out my covered calls to the following week then if I want to get some stock appreciation as well, maybe next week. So we'll have to wait and see. But at this point, I'm kind of sick of bag holding Space shares. I've been bag holding for about 2 to 3 weeks now, if I remember correctly. So I kind of want to get rid of them, collect some premiums along the way, and free up some capital. But so those were the only plays that I have currently on right now. I have my 2 Tesla spreads at 1880, 1875, and now I opened up 2 covered calls on Space just because I already own 200 shares. And just taking a look at Robin Track here, Space is actually the 49th most popular ticker. The interesting thing about Space is that even though the price fluctuates pretty significantly, it's a pretty consistent, kind of almost linear trend in the number of people, or I should say Robinhood users, that are purchasing shares. So really feels like no matter what the share price is doing, people are kind of consistently buying in to Virgin Galactic at a steady rate. So that's good news for me, I guess, because obviously the more people that buy into the stock, they're going to raise the stock price. But have to wait and see. So that was my trading day today. Relatively uneventful, but I am happy that Tesla kind of traded flat. So I did end up making more money on my Tesla spreads as time decay occurred. Let me know how your week is going, what plays you have open, or maybe what you closed for hopefully a profit. Again, if you're not in the Discord server, make sure you get in there while it's free. If you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter for also the latest updates. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And as always, happy trading.